Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And yeah, we did hear from SBI VC Trade on the 25th in regards to how they are actually collaborating as an association of exchanges here in Japan, discussing the Flare networks, whether they are going to participate as a group or what have you. It's going to come in the form of an appropriate announcement from these sites. And it is just so Japanese, and I'm not surprised at all that it is happening this way. We'll probably hear something in the next day or two or three, but so often, especially within businesses that have an association, it's very rare for companies to step outside and make a decision on their own and go their own way. It's really a country that works on consensus here. So I think we're going to see some announcements, and they'll decide among themselves how to handle this with so many different exchanges. So do just keep in touch with the Flare network by their pinned tweet that has a link to the site of all those that are officially participating. All right, we have a big announcement today, and it's really, really, really big for XRP. The FXCoin, which is one of those 20-some exchanges here in Japan, this is one that received an investment, an unknown amount of investment. I suspect it was very large, from SBI. SBI is the largest outside shareholder of Ripple. One of the, I think, most active companies in the world that are building an ecosystem built around blockchain and digital assets, for sure. And this particular exchange that SBI invested into, there was a grand vision from the beginning. So today they announced that a demo has been conducted. Actually, the first demo was done on Friday using the digital asset XRP, and they used it to avoid the risk of price fluctuations in the settlement, which will be both for receivables and payables. And they did it with the behemoth company Sumitomo. Sumitomo Group companies, wow. It's a first for them in Japan to use a cryptocurrency and the digital asset XRP for settlement. But also, Sumitomo is going to make future transactions with FXCoin to hedge the price movement by selling the XRP back to FXCoin on a specific date. What that does is it allows Sumitomo to lock in a future price, which is so important and revolutionary for trade finance. This is really genius. Remember, FXCoin is buying the XRP from SBI. So as a facilitator, which will facilitate this for the Sumitomo Corporation, XRP will be used as a financial instrument. It's a risk hedging instrument. And as it says in the announcement, this is expected to lead to the expansion of XRP denominated transactions in the future in the activities of globally expanding operating companies. And they are confident that the demonstration experiment conducted this time will not only show the usefulness and future potential of future transactions using cryptocurrency assets for the first time in Japan, but will also lead to the establishment of the swap market of cryptocurrency assets listed by the company. Remember, the swap market, more than half of the foreign exchange trades, which is a multi-trillion-dollar market, are made with swaps. So by expanding this swap market, we will contribute to the expansion of transactions with crypto assets as quoted prices. So Sumitomo Corporation the Sumitomo Corporation Global Metals Company, SBI, and FX were all part of this demonstration. The Sumitomo Corporation Global Metals Company, it's an international steel business that encompasses stainless, specialty steel for the automotive industry, the rail industry, construction. They do rods, plates, strips, the whole gamut. And they have a global network from East Asia to the Oceania region. That's Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and also Mexico and Czech. And the subsidiaries, they are also a group of associated companies that include locations like Thailand, China, Japan. And what's really telling to the size of this endeavor is the value chain with the associated companies and subsidiaries. There's 27 countries in the metal products business unit that is represented by places like the United States, Switzerland, India, Norway, Canada, Netherlands, and the UAE. So I want to talk a little bit about the UAE. This next story, you must remember, there is just not one size fits all. As Ashish Birla was talking about in the podcast that I covered yesterday, there is going to be specialty use cases, whether it's platforms, protocols, or digital assets, for a wide range of problems that need to be solved. So I want to read you a portion of this 92 pages that came from the final report for Project Auber. Project Auber is the wholesale and retail CBDC initiative, and the report was done for the Saudi Central Bank and the Central Bank of the UAE. The purpose was to prove the technical feasibility of DLT and digital assets. There were 6 banks that participated in the 2 countries. And I should also tell you that there was a special thanks to IBM noted in this final report. The experiment took 1 year to complete in its full process, and they did confirm that DLT does work in cross-border dual currency and also domestic payments. And Auber proved that these funds could be moved without the use of nostro vostro in each country. And yes, they did use real money. But as you see here, the public blockchain protocols such as Ripple and Stellar, which are often positioned for cross-border remittance use cases, were ruled out because of the obvious need for permissioning and privacy for an interbank payment use case, which these protocols don't support. So application of the qualification criteria resulted in shortlisting of the following 3 DLT platforms or protocols, and they were R3, Hyperledger Fabric, and the JPMC Quorum. That actually is in the hands of consensus now. So just don't feel disappointed, because there is going to be a lot of different use cases that will fit for the digital asset XRP, as well as the digital asset quant in their network. I am going to tell you that, of course, you know I added XDC to my portfolio a little over a month ago. They're up 8.69% on the week, 44% up for the month. So I feel really happy about that decision. But so many of you ask what else is in my portfolio. I added another one today, and this is QNT. I'll be doing an in-depth video for Patreon members to share the research that I did on this project. If you prefer to do your own research, then I'm going to point you in the direction of the Real Vision video. This is a good place to start. It is where Santiago Velez is having a very good discussion with the CEO and founder of Quant Network. And their Overledger project looks very promising. So do understand that this space requires a lot of research. And should you want to see the kind of research that I did on this project through the Patreon, I should have that video done by Wednesday. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Yes, sorry, I lost my camera. I knew I would. Sometimes you jump on a few of these sites and it kicks off the camera and then you can't get back on, but that's okay. We'll just continue. And I'm continuing with showing you this adorable picture because Japan loves its tiny cars. There's a special class of cars called the K car that get benefits from cities and governments, usually through write-offs, usually, if you get this kind of class of car. It's a small car and they're very often eco-friendly. This is one that you might see in Japan quite often. You might see it in your country as well. It's it's called the MCC smart car. This one is quite common, but maybe you will see the brand new Honda that is starting to ship globally. This is the N1, which will be the smallest car made by Honda for global distribution. I think it became available to order just a couple of days ago, and it's going to ship in 2021. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to talk cars in this one, but I did want to just talk about one of the smallest bicycles in Japan. And the one I wanted to share with you is this one here, which was designed by a very cool guy whose name is Masaki Kobayashi, and he is in Tokyo. He calls this bike the Iruka, which means dolphin in Japanese. And it does fold up. It folds up so small that you can even carry it with you on a train. I think this makes a lot of sense. But it's also completely capable of zipping down the streets of Shibuya. So I hope that you have some cool foldable bikes in your country. I think this is something that we all should pay attention to. And also something else to pay attention to is there is a lunar eclipse tonight. So for Japan, I think it's going to happen around 4 in the morning. I do believe, but if you look out your window this evening, that moon is just spectacular with its brightness. Super beautiful. So if you can't stay up to watch the eclipse itself, just do catch a glimpse of the moon. So pretty. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.